Guys, it's kind of wild that this past week we've had not only the first like ARG inside of Destiny in a very, very long time, but this has also coincided with something that happened in a chess tournament this past week. And the reason why I bring this up is because we put out this video right here called we're in the end game now, and essentially it just goes over the chess piece ARG. And then suddenly I started getting a flood of comments saying if you can't figure it out, ask Dr. Lupo. And then there was another video with like showing the 27 combinations that were saying things like Lupo figured it out in 2 minutes. And for some reason, if this didn't coincide with the chess ARG inside of Destiny, then I don't even know if we even be talking about it, but here we are.
Do you see the chess drama? Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about the chess drama real quick. I'm lost. Okay, so let me catch you up to speed. You've probably heard of the chess tournament Pog Champs. I competed in it in like 2020, and I got second place to Charlie, but what you might know it more popularly from is when Moist Critical beat XQC in 6 moves. It's genuinely one of the most viewed chess games of all time. It is a 2-minute chess game.
Is Charlie like really good at chess? 6 moves, man. What do I know? It's like Charlie, like, is Charlie like really, really good at chess, or is XQC not that good? Like, okay, so it's a combination of the two. All right.
Where he hits him with the Scholar's Mate and pops off in one of the most beautiful ways of all time.
Please don't. And it's too soon. It's too soon, Hikaru. We didn't even reach a climax.
I can't fucking believe it. He just lost. Yes! Yes! Yes!
And so anyway, they're doing the 6th iteration. Dr. Lupo is in it, and he's in a pool.
Dude, I was playing chess yesterday against the computer on the airplane, and oh man, I don't even know what my elo was set at, but dude, I couldn't beat it. I didn't beat the computer one time, not even once. There was like one game where the computer and I went 1 for 1, but I don't know. Tyler 1 is a freak. So Tyler's actually good, huh? All right.
Alongside Wolf Glick. All right, we know Wolf, friend of the stream, Wolf. And against Wolf Glick, pulls off a bit of a miracle upset because Wolf is a 1300 rated player, right? So there's 2 groups, Group A, Group B. Top 3 go to a championship bracket, bottom 3 go to a loser's bracket. Wolf lost to Lupo, and Wolf is 1300 rated. Dr. Lupo is 600 rated, which is pretty crazy. This is quite a big upset. But it's not just that he beat him necessarily. The fashion in which he beat him was also quite dramatic. It was down a queen in the first 8 moves, and he was able to make like a miraculous comeback, right? And end up winning the game. It's like making a Smash Bros comeback, being down 2 stocks to 4, or maybe even more accurately 1 stock to 3, and the guy you're playing against goes to tournaments and you've never been to a tournament. It would just be like so insane. But the cool thing about chess is it's really easy to cheat in the game of chess. It's so awesomely easy to cheat in the game of chess because your phone is better than Magnus Carlsen. Just straight up. It is so much better than Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen would admit that. So all you need to do is put the moves in.
Dude, that's why I was losing. I'm just pointing it out. That's why I was losing.
That your opponent is making, and then look at what the phone wants to do, and then do that. That's all you have to do. But here's also the really cool thing. Because cheating is so prevalent, anti-cheating technology has gotten really good. Now, the way anti-technology cheating works is different than like Valorant. They're not stopping cheating preemptively by going onto your computer and seeing if you've accessed any sites to cheat. What they're doing is judging the accuracy of moves and how well you're playing. And basically, everyone who plays chess is playing in a certain level of variance, right? The best you can play and the worst you can play has like a few hundred points of variance. But over a few moves, you could play far outside that variance. And if they detect that, they'll give you like a fair play violation.
Dr. Lupo has been closed for a fair play violation that occurred during today's Pog Champs event. He will be replaced in the consolation bracket before the start of tomorrow's round. We wish everyone the best tomorrow. Remind that receiving any help during a match is violation of our FP policy and will result in a DQ and account closure. So this is the equivalent of like if Bungie's anti-cheat was better, and if it saw like 99% accuracy on headshots for snipers, then it would be like, no, that's not possible. Get the fuck out of here, right? Such Lord comments, didn't he cheat on Destiny 1? My God.
Basically, they have determined based off analysis of your moves that you are playing far out, not only outside.
Yes, Lupo started here in Destiny with us. I know everyone knows him by Fortnite, but he started here in Destiny with us. And he, amongst many others, used Zim back in Destiny 1 because Destiny 1 was only present on console. And so Zim allows you to use mouse and keyboard. It gets recognized as a controller. So essentially, you have mouse and keyboard, but with aim assist. Now, I remember being in tourneys with people using Zim, and they let it slide. They let it fly. They were just like, well, we can't do anything about it. Or we could have banned. People could have banned them. But we left people in the tournaments anyways, primarily because no one really cared to play the tournament, so we needed people. But we left them in a tournament because essentially the counter to this was there are PC players. They just are a big fan of Destiny, but they can't play Destiny on PC because it's not present on PC yet. Whatever.
Outside of your skill level, but outside maybe the skill level of humans, and that you are cheating. Now, this might sound like wishy-washy science. I think some non-chess heads are like, dude, what if he just played well and got lucky? Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Like, playing computer moves or best moves is such a rare occurrence. Because you have to think, they have solved, what is it, like 5 moves of chess? There's some stat that within the first 5 moves, they've mapped out every position you could be in. And then when you get to move 6,
dude, that's
computers
crazy.
Can't track it anymore. Sorry, 7 pieces have been solved. Oh, is it the last 7 pieces? Basically, like after a certain amount of moves, you reach such a high potential number of potential lines that could be taken that like there's an infinite number of moves. You know, within like 10 moves, you're playing oftentimes like a game that's never been played before. And because there's all these lines, if you start picking the best move, like the literal single best move you can do multiple times in a row, it's guaranteed you're cheating. So after the game, the chess world blew up. Like a bunch of really prestigious chess players came out, like Andrew Tang, who's one of the best bullet players in the world, and started like calling out Lupo for cheating, just based off their knowledge of chess and their understanding of what Lupo is even capable of doing. Andrew Tang, not Tate. Although Andrew Tate is pretty good at chess, he might also be able to call it. Okay, he might have been able to call it. Dude, I'm not lying. It was every single chess GM who commented on it was unanimous that it was obvious he was cheating. And even in private conversations with GMs, they told me the same thing. They told me the same exact thing. Like, yes, it is obvious he's cheating. And so after the fair play violation, Lupo tweeted out. He said, regarding chess.com Pog Champs tournament, had a ton of fun playing, but decided to drop out of the event. Interesting. Decided to drop out to help maintain competitive integrity for those involved, as well as attorney organizers, having the mainstream up on my left monitor over the course of the day to watch other games being played led to me getting move information I shouldn't have had for a game. That's on me and no one else. That's my fault. I apologize. You'd think I know better, but here we are. And here's the issue. Normally, you would just lay this to rest. He cheated. He admitted to cheating. You move on. But that was also a lie. Because what he said is that he cheated in one game. It's not true. He cheated in both games against Wolf Glick. Minor nitpick. Could be a grammatical error. He also, almost assuredly, did not cheat in the way that he claims he cheated. He claims that he had the game open, like the stream open, and was reading the stream chat. But
well, you can't stream snipe in chess. I mean, unless people are saying what they're going to move next. But it's not like you're like, I got a stream pulled up. I know where he is. You know what I mean? Because your moves are right there.
Part of what you're able to do when you look through somebody's game is judge how quickly they—
Why do we care about this? If you ever catch me cheating in a tournament, if you ever catch me cheating in a tournament, I want you to staple my nuts on the board of shame for the rest of my days. You understand? I don't deserve to have 2 balls anymore. Take that shit and hack it up to the wall and say, here he is. Here's Cross's nuts. Goddamn cheater.
They are making their moves. And the time it was taking him to make his moves, a lot of the time when he's making the best move, was quicker even than Twitch chat would be able to input this. Not only that, but Twitch chat also just wasn't saying this. If you ever watch a Pog Champs streams, the chat isn't just spamming out the book best move. That doesn't happen usually. What people do is they might write a note.
No, I mean, you guys give shit. I mean, look, we had the ARG this past week and we weren't getting anywhere. You know what I mean?
For a possibly good move, but there They're actually just being active participants watching. And it certainly isn't 26 moves in a row. You might have heard this stat that Lupo played the best move 26 times in a row. So 26 times in a row, there wasn't someone in chat typing chess notation going knight e10, bishop f4. That wasn't happening. It just, there was no, and there's no chat. You can't find chats of that happening because it didn't happen. And I'm also willing to bet, and this is no shade, Lupo can't even read chess notation that quickly. If it says KXF4, that motherfucker is having a little bit of a think, okay? And that's not...
You ain't lying. I'm lat longitude in that shit. I'm like, we're the... All right.
me trashing him as a man. That's just me judging him as a 600 level player because I'm a 1300 level peak player and I can't do it that quickly. That's just what it is. I decided I would ask because he tweeted this out, and I'm talking to Hess. I'm talking to a chess GM about this, and he's like, yeah, he for sure cheated. Yeah, it for sure wasn't chat. And so I say, streets are saying it was an
God, this
engine. Are the streets keeping it 99? And he said, nah, anal beads. Joke. Also, believe me or not, I played what I played. Pulled from chat though. Couldn't stop looking, which as I said, I know better. So he's basically making an argument that yes, he was reading chat. Chat was giving engine level moves and he was executing those engine level moves. I want to just go through one of the games here. Now, I'm by no means a chess pro. So, you know, my analysis is not going to be top notch here. But this game starts out, you have Wolf, who's playing the black side, and Lupo, who's playing the white side. Pretty horrendously for Lupo after he makes this blunder here. He's in a very winning position, but he makes a blunder where he captures this knight with his knight, which blunders his queen, and then Wolf gets his queen. You're in a very bad spot being down a queen, right? But then he starts making...
Oh, dude, that's it. 9 times out of 10, you're done.
And
10 times out of 10, you are done.
This is the 26 move streak. Just the most godlike moves you've ever seen. Bishop's threatening the knight. He plays, this is probably the craziest individual move, pawn to b4, which is just sacrificing his pawn because, you know, he's not going to grab this because it would just trade out. This is a free +1 piece. And the reason you do that, I talked to Hess about this, is to do a rook lift. Rook lift, basically the idea of getting rook past your line of pawns, getting it here. So you're sacrificing this to do a unfettered rook lift, which he does, to get his rook into play. This is an insane play. This is an insane move to make. And if you watched Lupo's stream of him before admitting to cheating, he tries to come up for a reason why he made this move, but he couldn't conjure the idea of a rook lift because he doesn't know what a damn rook lift is because he's not a 600 level player.
I don't, you know, guys, I'm not a good chess player. I've played chess from time to time, so I definitely could tell you what a fucking rook lift is.
Here, excuse me, a 1600 level player or a 2600 level player at that matter. He's just better than you, little bro. He very well could be, but he's not better than Wolf. I don't believe. In his explanation, he just kind of glazed over it. He just kind of glazed over why he decided to sack his pawn, not super understanding the move.
I mean, it's a weird move. This is a weird move.
I think the moves that most people hone in on are the moves from move 27 to 31. Okay, so right here, he has a lot of pieces in action, right? He's got 2 bishops. His knight is rook. His knight is under threat, and he makes a good move to move here. Now his bishop is under threat and would have to like escape back here or something. But instead of doing that, does a counter threat onto his opponent's rook. So he leaves his bishop under threat, but a rook's more valuable than a bishop. So Wolf has to respond and makes a blunder. And then he finds, knight protects bishop. It can attack this queen. And then Wolf makes a big mistake. Moves his queen back 1, thinking his queen was safe here. He misread the board. This bishop is actually attacking the square. So what is the next natural thing to do here? If you are white, you take the queen. It is an awesome trade. You get a queen.
Dude, I know what the pieces do. I'm not that fucking dumb. I fucking know the damn pieces. What I'm saying is, it's like, I'm not a strategist. He was talking about like the best players in a row could see 6 moves ahead. I'm like at 0.5. I treat chess like an action RPG. I like a, you know what I mean? Like in the moment strategy.
In exchange for...
And to me, it makes it more enjoyable. And sometimes I've beaten the computer. Actually, I've beaten the computer one time by just doing moves very fast. Just do it really, really fast. And if you have the ELO turned down on the computer low enough, they don't know how to react.
A single bishop. It's an amazing trait. That's not what he does. Instead, he pulls back his knight for a check onto the king, which doesn't instantly lead to anything, by the way. It's not like this is checkmate. He just pulls back for a check on the king. The king moves here, and then still doesn't capture. The queen is left. Another turn goes for a rook check on the king. The king has to pull back. Then he captures the queen while the king is trapped in the corner, and then finds a beautiful mate in 4. Finds a beautiful mate in 4 where he checks with the bishop. He uses the rook, which is double attack.
He loses his other bishop.
His opponent's rook to capture it. And then boom, because his rook blocks the king in, pulls back, is able to checkmate there.
I haven't even used the other rook.
Crazy good moves to make a comeback from -4 to beating a player double his rank. And what was kind of annoying for me is when I watched this clip. This is right after the tournament.
You cheated against the wolf guy, okay? I got another guy on YouTube as well saying I cheated. By this, who called Lupo cheater? Probably Wolfie's chat.
That is what made me so mad, is people came into his chat, started accusing him of cheating. Now, based off the messages, I think these people are just chess fans. Maybe they understand that he's cheating based off their own knowledge. Maybe they've heard a creator they like who's good at chess say that he cheated and they're parroting it, or maybe they just are a fan of drama and they're parroting it. But there's people going, hey, you cheated against that wolf guy. And Lupo's gut reaction here is that's Wolf's chat.
Probably Wolfie's chat.
And like, if you know Wolfie, if you know Wolf Glick, it's just like, just not in 100,000 years would Wolf have even said something negative about his opponent. And I'm willing to bet he still hasn't said something negative, even knowing that he was cheated in that game. Nor would he like try to activate his chat to attack someone if he knew he cheated. Like, I'm sure Wolf was like, damn, I got cooked, stressed, on to the next game. I'm sure that's what Wolf did. So it kind of sucked to see that, for him to start accusing Wolf's chat of like causing the drama. It's just such a lack of understanding of Wolf as a person.
Hey, Chess Kryptonite on the YouTube side. Listen, man, if you want, you can watch back through. Here, I can even hit the button for you. This is what my monitors look like, dude. I'm sorry that I beat your boy.
And like, obviously this guy isn't a Wolf Glick fan. His name's like Chess fucking Kryptonite. He's not watching Pokemon content. He's a 2150 rated player. He probably watched Tyler One punch his face into a monitor grinding chess, and then he watches Pog Champs tournaments because he likes chess. He's just someone who's calling out what he understands because of his higher level of knowledge.
Yeah. Dude, chess people are, I mean, I couldn't play, granted, we play Destiny all the time. So people were like, how the f do you play that game all the time? But dude, chess, I just don't think the sandbox is big enough for me. You know what I mean? But I understand the strategy. I completely respect it. There's a lot of things I've watched that I don't necessarily want to play, but I still respect it and enjoy watching it.
Knowledge of the game. That's it. It's not like, this bro isn't like, dude, I fucking love when Wolf played the Incineroar. What a fucking spin-off. What a mix-up. That's not what, it doesn't happen. It's not what's happening here.
I'm not great at chess. I had a really good couple games.
But what is sick about chess is you can't have a couple of really good games. At least not that really good. It is like as obvious. He's spitting as you can. Slime thinking the 50 months. You can't. You can't have games that are that good. You can have good games, but good for your skill level. You can't have book perfect games.
You don't just lose your queen and then just go, all right, I'm going to turn it up to 11 now. I mean,
and that's kind of an awesome thing about chess because it's so statistically impossible. It's as obvious to good players as somebody playing CS2 or Valorant and like snapping to headshot angles, clicking the Guardian once, blowing up somebody's skull, and then like, you know, walking away clunkily. It's like as obvious.
You have an engine up on the other screen spitting out the best moves. Those take forever to do stuff though. We're on a time limit.
No, they don't take forever to do. I think he knows they don't take forever to do. Your phone can do it instantaneously. It's quite quick. Now to calculate, like,
are you saying I could have been beating the computer by using a computer this whole time? Dude, I've been taking ass whoopings now for years.
Between what might be the first or second best move, yes, sometimes it does take a little bit to load, but just for what would be like a top 3 or 4 move, it's pretty fucking instant. So anyway, that was yesterday, and so he, you know, comes clean but doesn't super come clean. Then he went live this morning. I watched his whole stream before he went live to play normal games. So he went live today, which was, I thought, pretty bold. He went live and he talked about it, and he had this to say.
I betrayed the trust of the chess community. I betrayed the trust of my chat. I lied directly to Wolf, and so if for some reason you see this, I'm sorry. I got caught in a fight or flight moment and panicked and doubled down. The reason I'm saying this stuff is not because I'm like, I don't want sympathy. I don't need that. Actually, if anything, I told mods to not censor anything in chats today because it's the only, I mean, I deserve it. I do. I absolutely deserve it. I fucked up and hurt people that were probably pretty excited to have a big creator in their space. At least used to be big. I've loved chess for a really long time. Played when I was in middle school and high school, and I am appalled and embarrassed. It's funny too because I'm the Tarkov guy that's always very anti-cheater, right? And then of course it's the person that's so loud and vocal about it that turns around and ends up doing it.
Now he had what I thought was a pretty poignant statement here, right? Like, because most people who are excited about this drama don't care about chess, right? And most of you guys, frankly, are like dog shit at chess. You couldn't care less. You probably couldn't name more than 5 chess players, you know, who are active for the most part.
Excuse me, Magnus. Magnus 10 years ago. All right.
Like 95% of people here and 95% of people probably who are aware of this chess cheating drama. It's more like flavor of the day, exciting to rag on this guy who did something fucking stupid and make fun of him. But what I thought was cool was understanding why he did it, like why he cheated. But he basically talks about how he doesn't know if he's cut out to be a streamer because he has such a high insensitive ego that if he feels like his ego is being hurt in some way, he rushes quickly to defend it. And he brought up like an example. Yeah, he basically admitted to having a high level of fragility. And there was like a moment where a friend of his like roasted him for looking tired, and he fucking yelled at the guy. And I guess in this moment, his fragile ego was like losing to somebody in a game that a lot of people equate to intelligence. And if you lose, like you're fucking dumb or something.
Dude, look, man, it sucks to get shit on. We were in a finals tournament this past year, and I thought it was just going to be a good old time. Turns out the opposing teams had like actual professional players. And I'm not talking about like pros from like Rainbow Six Siege and other games, like legitimate good fucking players. I shit you not, I couldn't walk anywhere. If I ran from one building to another building, I got shredded in like half a second. There was nowhere I could go. I didn't win a single 1v1 in this tournament. Guys, not a single one. The whole fucking tournament, not one 1v1 did I win. And I was a heavy against lights. A heavy against lights. By default, I have more health. It was a bad experience. But sometimes it happens like that, dude. Sometimes you get shit on, you know? And it is what it is. You do. But you know what I mean? It's just part of it. It's just part of the game.
And
should have toggled? Well, see, that's the thing. In that situation, we could have toggled, right? But it would have looked super sus when you saw me get ass stomped 2 rounds prior. And then suddenly I'm winning my 1v1s. Suddenly I'm landing on my shots. Brother.
Basically not being able to handle either the made up comments or the comments that he accurately predicts will come when a negative outcome arises. Now, obviously it doesn't excuse cheating, but I think it's cool to understand like the emotion that went into cheating in the first place. Yeah, fragility, ego, and like some sensitivity there. Yeah, some insecurity, really. This guy's almost 40. Yeah, but like, you know, and that's like an interesting comment to make because like those are issues that I think persists in people's lives until they die. Like, you know, sure, some people do grow out of it, but it's not like a exclusively childlike emotion. Insecurity is not childlike, it is human-like, you know? So he's a human who's, it seems like, dealing with pretty intense insecurity and fighting it rather than accepting it by trying not to end up in positions where he could have his ego hurt, as opposed to like maybe leaning into it or whatever. So I think that's personally interesting. Like Dr. Lupo, I think in a lot of people's minds is like one of 2 things, right? If you know Dr. Lupo, you either think of him as a guy who used to be Ninja's friend who played Fortnite, or maybe you are a viewer of Lupo and you like Tarkov, or maybe you know him as St. Jude's charity guy who raises millions of dollars every year. Like that is kind of how most people think of him. You probably don't think about him too much past that if you're not an active viewer. So it's like, it's a pretty big shot. You know, I'm not minimizing it. It's a massive fuck up and it will punish him in the future just based on people's opinions of him. Me, I personally don't throw out the baby with the bathwater because I think if you do fuck up, or maybe even when you do fuck up. Like, I think the accountability is the good part.
I fucked up.
Now, he did piecemeal it. That's the biggest issue. If he did it all at once, he'd be better. He did piecemeal it, right? So, like, he had a half-assed lying apology where he didn't fully admit to it. Then he had an admission of why he did it. And then just now, just finally, just at the end of his stream, he actually admitted to it.
I cheated and then lied about it, and paying the price, man.
Now, he hasn't fully said if he used an engine specifically. You know, at least he's saying he cheated. I don't know if he used an engine, by the way. I don't know if he used an engine. I don't know if he used an extension. I don't know if he had somebody message him the moves by putting it into a game. I don't know if he had a second game on a second monitor where he input the moves himself. Oh, did he actually say it directly?
It sucks that I fucked up. I deserve 100% of what people are saying. Using an engine to fix my own fragility is pathetic.
Okay, so yeah, he finally did. You know, it takes about 24 hours, but he finally admits to using the engine to legitimately cheating in basically how he got to that position. So, you know, I think most people don't cheat. But I think if you look at the group of people who do cheat, most don't take accountability how he is at least taking accountability.
Dude, it kind of remind me. Y'all remember when Bakken cheated? And then he doubled down and was like, of all the people to ban, you ban me just because I got good aim or some shit like that. And then DMG clapped back, was like, is this you cheating? Is this your alt account that's also cheating? Yeah, we got you in 4K and we got you on every account, bro. You're done. And then that was it. That was like, we never saw Bakken again. I don't know if he even put out another YouTube video. And it's crazy, man, because like, dude, when that guy would drop a trailer, you guys would come in there and post his videos and be like, dude, watch this. He lands everything. The first time I was really like, I was watching Bakken, I was like, I don't really know about this guy. It wasn't the clips. He did a 1v1 against Panda. Now, Panda's a really good player. Panda f***s, all right? In like every game he plays. But Panda shit all over Bakken. And luckily, Bakken wasn't doing anything sussy against Panda. But I'm not saying that Bakken could have beat Panda. I just thought that maybe he could have got like a kill or two. You know what I mean? Or he could, you know what I'm saying? Especially given the fact of all the montages. But people are like, no. He's just not good at 1v1s. He's a clip guy. He's a clip guy. All right, maybe he's a clip guy. But turns out it was bullshit. He was in fact cheating. And that was that, man.
Even if it was piecemeal, like it took a little bit to get there. So I think it's at least a positive step there. And not to get him off the hook, because maybe like if this is a different game, if this isn't chess, if it isn't so obvious to GMs that he's cheating, or IMs, or even like, you know, just higher rated players as a whole, and he got away with it, maybe he'd never admit it, right? That's always the thing with cheating is like, would you have ever admitted it if you didn't get caught? And very few people do. In fact, if we're being honest, I'm probably one of the only ones. If you think about it, I'm probably the only motherfucker who cheated, got away with it, and then still told you guys. So XQC coming at my neck saying, reminder that Ludwig cheated Among Us. Brother, I'm the only one coming clean these days. I would argue because I cheated, I proved myself to be one of the most honest people around. Please give me a Twitch Prime. Anyway, that's your chess drama. It's the first drama I've seen in a while. I've been heavily invested.
I mean, it's probably the only chess drama. I don't know. No. There was some chess drama. I saw some chess drama. Didn't Magnus, he's the only guy I keep up with, didn't he not wear pants? Oh, no. He wanted to wear, no. He wanted to wear shorts. What was the drama? He got banned. He got banned from a tournament because he didn't want to wear pants or something. Oh, he wanted to wear jeans. That's right. He wanted to wear jeans. And they were like, no, you got to wear tourney approved apparel, which I think is just a suit, right? Or dress pants. And he was like, no, these are my, it reminds me of like Michael Scott and his jeans, right? He's like, no, these are my jeans. And then they banned him.
Invested into just because I'm a fan of chess. And I actually have so much respect for Pog Champs. If there's one bright thing that hopefully might come out of it is maybe more people will watch this Pog Champs event, or more people will know what's happening at least.
I actually feel like I'm going to watch it now. You know what I mean? Or at least some of it.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.